The CFL right now is at a tipping point, with 7 out of 9 teams losing money last year, as well as attendance being at its lowest point in over 2 decades. Something needs to change. And nobody's been a bigger advocate for change than Luke Willson. And while he does have some extremely hot takes, and can be quite bold about them at times, it's good to have these conversations about what can be improved to attract more fans, while keeping the CFL's distinct fundamentals safe. Today I'll give my 2 cents on some of Wilson's most controversial takes. Hope you enjoy. Alright, let's start with probably his most famous tweet, at least in terms of CFL posts, about the Week 3 game between the Rough Riders and Argonauts. Let's start with the obvious. There were 29 penalties for 307 yards. It was absurd. Next, let's go to the end of the game. It's junk ball. Yes, I said it. Junk football. First off, Sask misses a chip shot 33-yard field goal, which would have basically sealed the win. Instead, they are awarded a point for missing it. Ball wasn't returnable, didn't land in the field of play. I'm sure you've seen this clip from 2024 where the Argonauts beat the Rough Riders on a missed field goal, or this clip where the Elks won by punting it through the end zone. I understand the Rouge is a touchy subject. Some people love it, some hate it. My suggestion is to do something like Willson said. If it's not playable and heads out of the end zone in the air, no point is awarded. This way, kick returns are still encouraged throughout the game, while also ensuring the CFL's signature last 3 minutes keeps you on the edge of your seat right to the final whistle, instead of pretty much knowing the game is over when all the kicker has to do is kick it through the end zone. They then kick off and give up a 9-play touchdown drive where there is 1 penalty, 1 incompletion, and every other play is a tackle in bounds. No timeouts are used, and it took 1 minute and 39 seconds. There are no big plays either. It's mainly checkdowns. Nothing could be more gimmicky than that. You've basically eliminated any sort of 2-minute drive. There is not the slightest bit of urgency needed. I don't agree here. While it is cool to watch 2-minute drives in the NFL, the CFL's last 3 minutes is also cool. Take this game between the Elks and Rough Riders, for example. The game would have been over right here with NFL rules, just by kneeing the ball until the clock runs out. But with CFL rules, we are treated to 7 more plays of high-intensity football. And yeah, the Elks didn't come back to win, but they were still in the game right to the final whistle. The Argos kick off and don't even field a full team. Yes, that's correct. After tying the game with 23 seconds left, the Argos are a man short in the kickoff. I'll come back to this because it all ties together later on. There were 12, I repeat 12, quarterback sneaks. Everybody I've heard talk about this, including me, agrees something needs to change in terms of the quarterback sneak. Let me be very clear, I like the quarterback sneak, but in the CFL, every team does it, and almost every team does it at an extremely high conversion rate. Even Glenn Suter was talking about it during the Calgary-Montreal game, how teams convert at such a high rate, you almost can't justify not quarterback sneaking it. But every suggestion I've seen, including Luke Wilson's, either fully eliminates the 1-yard neutral zone or eliminates the yard neutral zone just on 3rd and 1. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the extended neutral zone was put in to give the offense an advantage to establish the run game, because they have 3 downs instead of 4. So you can't just eliminate the zone, but you also can't just make it on 3rd and 1, because sneaks happen on 2nd and even 1st down if it's at the goal line. So here's my idea. Feel free to pause to read it all, but basically this rule makes the quarterback sneak not so automatic, while still giving the offense full control and freedom of their play calling. My rule also keeps the 1-yard neutral zone on every play that isn't a quarterback sneak. The Argos had 31 pass attempts and per PFF gave up 25 pressures. Insane. Here's where the penalties, the botched formation, and bad protection all connect. You might not know this, but the CFL is a coaching cap. Yes, not just a salary cap for players, but for coaches as well. It is entirely possible that less coaching for the players is leading to more penalties, worse blocking, and substitution issues, which by the way also happened in the 111th Grey Cup, where the Blue Bombers had 11 players on the field instead of 12 for this huge touchdown play. The coaching cap definitely needs to be reviewed during the next CBA. Alright, so there's not much to be discussed in this post after this, except that the last part he does bring up a pretty good point. Please don't respond with there are bad games in the NFL. Yes, there most certainly are, but the NFL doesn't have the same issues the CFL does, one of which is there are only 4 games a weekend, so each game is magnified to its audience. This is a good point. In the NFL, you have between 13 and 16 games per week. In the CFL, it's 3 or 4, which means bad games are that much more detrimental to the CFL. Next, we're going to look at his fan rankings, and boy is it spicy. Tiger Cats 9th? Really, Luke? Despite being 4th in attendance last year, while not even making the playoffs. To be fair, I have not been to Hamilton Stadium. Maybe it's not a great environment. If any Tiger Cats fans want to chime in, feel free to do so in the comments. But I just don't understand how the Argonauts are not last. I mean, in 21, 22, and 23, the team finished 1st in the East. Though they did place 2nd last year, they won the Grey Cup, and still were unable to get even 20,000 fans to their Grey Cup banner night. But instead of talking about that, we're getting mad at the away team for not showing up on the road when the home team has a population of over 2 million. Food for thought. What if we made the slightest amendment to the ratio? That amendment would be only 1 Canadian O-lineman counts toward the starting 7. Perhaps I'm dumb, but I would love to see the Canadians get more opportunities at other positions. Look at some of the stars right now. Oliveira, Rourke, Dembski, Philpott, and many more. While I agree there should be a cap on the O-line's contribution to the ratio, I think the max should be 2 at every position, not just 1 for the offensive line. This way makes it fair and clear, unlike what we have now, where I don't even understand the ratio rules. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.